And hello, one and all, and welcome to our live review for WWE Payback 2016. We're going to give you our full thoughts and opinions on tonight's Payback pay-per-view. And with me, I have two special guests, my friends Mike and Nathan.
What's up?
Yo.
All right, guys, thank you for joining me. And like I said, we certainly do have a lot to talk about. I felt like overall this was a strong show from start to finish. I really enjoyed a fair majority of this show. There were a couple problems that I had with it, but overall I thought this was probably WWE's best main roster pay-per-view this year. Mike, we'll start with you. What were your overall thoughts on Payback tonight?
Yeah, definitely. It's not one of the bigger pay-per-views of the year, but it had great expectations. The build-up to this has been great, and I just couldn't ask for all I asked for just a show and nothing else. And for the most part, I think it was a really strong show tonight.
Nice. Nathan, what were your thoughts on tonight's pay-per-view?
I mean, I thought it was good, but I have a few. Most of the matches delivered, but I have a few problems with the booking. Kind of a lot to do with the main event's booking, but overall, pretty solid show. But I still think Royal Rumble is the best pay-per-view so far this year.
Okay. Fair enough. That was a really good show. Really enjoyed the Rumble, but without further ado, we're gonna take a look at. I don't know. Did you guys watch the kickoff show?
I watched Kalisto versus Ryback, but I did not see Ziggler versus Baron Corbin.
Okay.
I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah, I know you missed. Okay, so I'll start with my thoughts because I watched the whole show. I'll start with my thoughts on Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. Was surprised to see this match get moved to the kickoff show. I thought it was an okay match from start to finish. I was really surprised to see Ziggler getting the win via roll-up. That really shocked me. I thought for sure Baron Corbin was going to be the one to walk out with the victory. But, yeah, what are your guys' thoughts on Baron Corbin losing in his first pay-per-view match to Dolph Ziggler?
I do not like it at all.
Okay, fair enough. I agree there.
I agree as well.
It's just like, really? I mean, okay, I guess they're going to keep this feud going, but it's just like a roll-up on his first pay-per-view. It's just like, I thought he was supposed to be this dominant, unstoppable force. I thought he was just going to plow through Ziggler. Dolph ends up getting him with the roll-up. I mean, I do like Dolph, but at this point, he's fairly established as, one of sadly, the lower card guys, and I don't see him moving up to that main event scene ever again. So, and Corbin's, a guy you could potentially build around in the future, and I just found it a strange decision to have Corbin lose via a roll-up. So.
Yeah, I just think you're trying to establish these NXT guys. You kind of can't really have them lose to established guys in their first pay-per-view, because when you do that, you just make them look like everybody else.
Right.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I agree, I mean, you just throw some guy in there like Dolph Ziggler. I mean, yeah, I like Ziggler too, but I just really, like you said, Dan, accepted the fact that he's not going to get anywhere higher, and it's just you kind of get bored of him after a while, but you still like accept him as well. And that's just the type of guy that guy like Baron Corbin needed to get over with. But unfortunately, why would they not let him get over?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
I agree with both of y'all.
So, anything else to say about that, the decision to have Ziggler go over?
No, hopefully they redeem it by having Baron Corbin look strong.
I'll probably have him beat Ziggler on Raw tomorrow night because, as you all know, 50-50 booking is the magic solution. So, that's what's going to happen.
Right, yeah.
Calling it right now, people. All right, so we get into the next match on the kickoff show. It was Kalisto versus Ryback for the United States Championship. And, guys, I have to say, I enjoyed this match. I really enjoyed it from start to finish. I know you, Nathan, you saw this match. Are you in similar agreement? Did you think it was a good match? Because I really did. I really thought it was good.
Okay, I'm kind of going to do a little bit. I always say I hate Ryback because I've never seen him really reach his full potential. But
Right.
I was really surprised with this match. It was really good. I enjoyed every second of it. I think it's one of Ryback's best matches to date. I'm a little sad that it was on pre-show. I mean, the real pay-per-view ended a little bit early. You could have fit this match on the main card.
Right.
But I'm happy that Kalisto won. Hopefully they start doing something better with this United States Championship.
I agree.
Well, I have a theory about that, guys, and I think they're keeping it warm for when Cena comes back, and they're probably going to have Kalisto drop the belt to Cena, and then they're going to bring back the U.S. Open challenges.
Daniel, that's exactly what I was thinking, so we're on the same page on that.
Exactly. You know.
That carried Monday Night Raw in 2015, and I can't wait for it to return.
So, even though I'd hate to see Kalisto lose it, they really have been treating him as a shit champion, in my opinion. So,
Yeah.
I mean... put him back with Sin Cara, excuse me. You could have them as the Lucha. I mean, just book them as the tag team if you're not going to treat them as a viable U.S. champion, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, you can have them go after the tag team titles and then do their little split up, and Kalisto can become a megastar. But you have to be able to book them strongly. If you're not committed to booking them strongly, don't make him a singles competitor. Sorry for interrupting you, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, you realize ever since, you know, Kalisto got the U.S. title, he won it. He lost it on SmackDown. He had a decent match with Del Rio at the Royal Rumble, and then another decent one at Fastlane. But you realize, Fastlane, the WrestleMania, and now Payback, all three of these are on the kickoff show. And plus, too, like on Raw, too, you know, Kalisto's looking like a joke. I feel like, you know, he's losing almost every match, and then they just throw him on these kickoff matches and he wins them. It's like you can't quite take. I mean, I want to take him seriously, but sometimes like you can't completely take him seriously at the same time.
Am I the only one that noticed that in the build-up to Payback, Kalisto was not on one Raw? He was on one SmackDown. That was it. He was on one show.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's why a lot of people don't care about this United States Championship.
How are you going to care if it's not on your... I'm sorry, Raw is your flagship. That's all I watch. I can barely stomach SmackDown unless it's...
I read the spoilers of SmackDown. That's it.
That's it. We have to sit through 3 hours. I'm sorry. And he should be on that show. And if you're telling me you can't get him on that show, come on.
You have plenty of time. I mean, just look at last week. We had 6 segments with the Bullet Club and AJ and Roman. I loved a lot of the segments, but you could have cut one down and put Kalisto on the show. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
So I think we're all in agreement here. More could be done with Kalisto as the United States champions, but that remains to be seen. So, guys, we're going to transition now into the actual pay-per-view. It kicked off with the New Day, who were going to be at ringside for this, what turned out to be tragic set of circumstances. This was supposed to be Enzo and Cass versus the Vaudevillians to determine the #1 contenders in the WWE Tag Team Tournament. However, Enzo, Simon Gotch threw Enzo. He was throwing him out of the ring. Looked like Enzo hit his neck on the ropes and then like had a whiplash effect, smacked his head off the ring, and he was knocked out, guys. This was not good. This was scary. I knew right away something was up. The crowd went hush. You know, the commentators were very serious. It's a shame to see something happen, you know, to a guy like Enzo, and you know, Big Cass as well. I mean, they're an awesome team, and we're all worried for Enzo. Luckily, he only has a concussion.
Yeah.
It could have been worse. Just a sad, something sad to see, and you know, prayers for Enzo. That's all I can say, and just hoping for the best.
For me, this was a little bit confusing because when I first seen it happen, I didn't know if it was a work, and then as soon as they rung the bell, and because you know sometimes when they throw up the X, it's just like they're doing it to make it more realistic. But as soon as they rang the bell, I knew it was real, you know.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, you sent me the link, Dan, when I got home to show me what happened, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like, how is he... Yeah.
My question is, what are they going to do now? Is the Vaudevillians just going to be the number continuous automatic?
I'm assuming, yeah. That's
because,
what they do.
Probably.
Because Enzo's not going to be able to compete for a few weeks.
Yep, he's out. It would just make the most logical sense. I mean, I don't know what else they could, because it was the finals of the tournament, and now, they're in a lurch. I don't know. Not sure, guys, but at least we know that Enzo isn't paralyzed. It could have been a lot worse. Concussion, it's still bad, but compared to what it looked like, it could have been 10 times worse. So we're gonna keep him in our thoughts and prayers. We're gonna move into we're gonna segue into the first match of the evening, which was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. This was a great match. I mean, after that terrible tragedy, the terrible circumstances, I was feeling a little bit down. I was like, oh, man, am I going to be able to get back into this show after what I just saw? Sure enough, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they go out there, and in my opinion, they have what was the match of the night. This match was awesome from start to finish. Mike, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts on this match?
I mean, I didn't really get to see the match because I was only getting home around the time. But I would say that I do agree with giving Kevin Owens the win for this one. I just feel like if you gave Sami Zayn the win for this one right away, it would feel like this feud is already a little more conclusive. But this is like the feud I feel that needs to be built on for like a long string of matches throughout the summer. And I think even with the we'll talk about that when we get to the next match, but yeah, I think that this feud needs to be like a long-lasting feud, and Kevin Owens winning the first one, I think, was the right choice.
Yeah, but I don't know. What I would have done personally. I thought it was a great match.
Oh yeah.
But what I would have done personally was I would have had it in a no contest, and then you can build that up to an Extreme Rules match next month. Because, I mean, Kevin Owens automatically beat him. I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to hold it off until Sami Zayn finally wins the big one. But you kind of, at the same time, you got to make Sami Zayn look pretty strong. I would have done a no contest, but I don't hate the finish. It was a really good match.
Oh, man.
I liked how it led into the next match.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And,
Owens was able to catch Sami Zayn with the super kick and hit the pop-up powerbomb off the ropes to steal the win. So you wanted to see the no contest. I would have been okay with that. I'm just happy Kevin Owens won. I mean, it keeps the feud going, obviously, and we'll get into where it might potentially be going for Extreme Rules. But
yeah, I'm hoping we get a fatal four-way.
That's what we might be seeing, and I'd be down for that.
That would be a match of the year candidate.
It could be
yes.
I mean, with the talent involved in that match, it definitely could be really, really good. But yeah, after the match, Owens attacks Sami, and then this is where he screamed at Byron Saxton. Owens wanted to be interviewed by Byron Saxton, and he pretty much brags about beating Sami Zayn and being the better man. And he says he's going to get back his IC title. And, Owens says since The Miz is going to be defending his title next, Owens is going to be a commentary, and then he takes JBL's hat and puts it on his head. I love Kevin Owens. This guy is such a character. He's awesome. How can
when
you
he's
not?
On commentary is about 100 times better. Honestly.
Definitely.
I just love how he insults Byron Saxton.
Oh, everybody hates Byron Saxton. That's what he's
I hate JBL more than I do Byron Saxton, but that's just me.
Yeah, they're all pretty bad, except for Mauro Ranallo. He's awesome.
Yeah, he is good. But yeah, I do agree also about Kevin Owens. I mean, the guy also is just very good at talking trash. It's not just someone just talks random baller dash, but he's talks very effective trash. And that's what makes him a really good heel, I feel.
Yeah. And so yeah, Kevin Owens is awesome. That's basically all I have to say about that.
I mean, like I said, the crowd was into it. I was into this match. Definitely one of their, I've only seen their matches on NXT. I do know about their illustrious history on the independent scene, but...
Yeah, I've only seen NXT matches. I'm not a huge indie wrestling guy, so...
Yeah, same here. But I thought this was just as good as those NXT matches, if not even better. I think this might have been
Definitely
their
agree. I don't
best
know.
match.
Yeah, because NXT matches, it's probably on the same level as the match, but no offense to everybody, and I might get some heat for this. Be realistic. WWE is the main show, so the making it more glitz and glamour makes the match even seem more effective and better a little bit.
Right. I know what you mean. I do love my NXT, and I would never, but I know it is a step up. It is bigger eyes. It's the main show for a reason. So I was glad that these two were given the opportunity to tell a story on the main roster, and I'm happy that this feud will be continuing because, as we said, the next match was The Miz versus Cesaro. Solid match. I really liked this match. Cesaro was over as hell, as he should be in Chicago.
Man, I was pulling for Cesaro hard.
Definitely. I mean, he is the Swiss Superman for a reason. I'm sure we were all rooting for Cesaro. And, just the way this match broke down into chaos at the end is what I think is going to foreshadow the eventual Fatal 4-Way that we're going to see probably at Extreme Rules, because out of nowhere, Sami Zayn came out towards the end and starts just beating the shit out of Kevin Owens. We got all hell breaking loose. It's awesome. And then Sami fights into the crowd, and Cesaro's, going to put Miz in for the Cesaro swing, and then Cesaro is able to make the Miz tap out, but the ref is distracted because of Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and then the Miz steals it with a roll-up on Cesaro. I believe he had the tights. Nathan, we'll start with you. Your thoughts on this match, the ending, the chaotic finish, just everything.
I thought it was a really good match. I mean, people said that The Miz can't work, but this guy has improved so much over the years.
Oh, yeah.
And he is such an awesome heel. I love seeing Cesaro take everyone to Uppercut City. Yes, that's what I call it, because it's amazing. Daniel, you know this because you listen to the Lexman too. I stole it from him. So, but Cesaro is great, and I like the whole how it tied in. The only thing I disagree with this, and I know I'm nitpicking a lot, but I didn't like the second pump-up powerbomb to Sami Zayn. I would have rather had maybe Sami Zayn gets knocked down in a different way, but you know what? It was still cool. I'm not gonna nitpick everything.
Yeah.
So, a thumbs up to this.
Definitely, definitely. Mike, your thoughts on this match and everything else that happened?
I mean, yeah, definitely too. This is the first time we've really seen Cesaro in a pay-per-view match since he's been back, and they made him look strong. They made him look like an upper card wrestler, not just a lower card. And
exactly.
Going back to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, continue the story on rather than just having them fight each other. Like, put them into a fatal 4-way match like that. They're showing that they're both like scratching and clawing, and tearing each other apart to get to that to get to the top. But even if it's like going up against other people and fighting over that championship and continue on their feud from there, that's very effective. And I really like how it was brought into this match. And even the match itself, like I said, versus Cesaro and Miz, it was really good.
Solid match.
And it protected Cesaro and made you wait on for finally you can't wait until Cesaro finally gets that championship belt.
Definitely. So far, 2 for 2. Enjoyed the Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens match, and this was a solid match to follow. After this, guys, we had Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. Another good match. I mean, this show, it really delivered from top to bottom. Good match after good match after good match. I mean, this was 10 times better than WrestleMania, in my opinion. Just throwing it out there.
But WrestleMania does have my match of the year on it, the women's triple threat. But yeah, this show from a match standpoint is probably just as good. The booking is maybe a little better, which gives this show a little bit of an edge.
And it being at least 3 hours helps instead of 6.
Yeah, I was there, and by the time we got to Roman and Triple H, we were so gassed.
That's right. I keep forgetting you were at WrestleMania because I've seen the clips that you posted. I mean, just kind of deviating from that and going to Mania. Were you able to get into the building on time? I know there were.
I was actually one of the rare ones that got into the building before Kalisto and Ryback started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was amazing. I was shocked. Most of those people waited 3 hours in line. Okay.
It was bad.
I got there about an hour or two before the show. about 30 minutes before the pre-show started, and I got in there in 10 minutes. I'm not kidding.
Wow.
I got in there in 10 minutes.
Because there was something with the Wi-Fi and the tickets weren't being scanned. There was it was an issue, and people were getting
that was on the other side. I was on the side they didn't have all those issues.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I was actually pretty lucky. The only complaint was it took me 2 hours to get out of the parking lot. But
yeah, you knew with 101,000 or whatever the number was, it was going to be a pain in the ass to get out of there. But that's good to hear that you made it to your seats in time. But getting back to let's get into Jericho versus Ambrose. I really enjoyed this match from start to finish. I was so happy to see Dean Ambrose win on a pay-per-view with the Dirty Deeds for the win. Hallelujah, as I said on Twitter. Dean Ambrose won. Yes! So I'm happy. I am so happy, guys.
It really makes Dean Ambrose look good. He beat a legend like Chris Jericho.
Exactly.
But what's next for Dean? That's my question. Because I don't really want this feud to continue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, it's tough because we have Extreme Rules coming up. That's a very good question. I don't know. We'll have to find out tomorrow, I guess. But
yeah, I'm not sure either. But yeah, I mean, I think they definitely missed a big opportunity in trying to give Dean Ambrose a win over Lesnar Mania. But you know, like you said, Nate, it's Chris Jericho. He's a legend. He has a lot of credibility on him. And Dean Ambrose has won, matches at pay-per-views, but they were against like a bunch of people who could really not give him that much of a boost. And this definitely gave him a lot more of a boost, I feel.
Definitely. I mean, guys, I really liked how Jericho ended up, it was on the table. Ambrose tried to hit Dirty Deeds, but Jericho was able to block it and then pretty much slung him over into where they keep the timekeepers stuff and ring bell and whatnot. So I really liked that spot. Yeah, this was just a solid match from start to finish. I knew you put two talented guys in there, like you said, a Hall of Famer like Chris Jericho and somebody like Dean Ambrose, who is very talented, and the recipe was right there for a good match, and that's what we got.
Definitely. I agree with everything you both said.
All right. So after this match, we had the WWE Women's Championship match. It was Natalya with Bret Hart in her corner versus Charlotte with Ric Flair in her corner. This match, I thought it was another good match between Natalya and Charlotte. Like I said, you put these two in the ring together, they're going to have a good match, and they had a good match. The only issue that I had with this match was the way that it ended. I took issue with the Montreal Screwjob-like finish. Natalya looks like Charlotte slapped Natalya and put her in the sharpshooter, and then Natalya ends up not tapping out. But the referee, Charles Robinson, ends up ringing bell, and we're like, what the heck's going on here? It's obviously, playing up the Montreal Screwjob angle from 1997 with Bret Hart being there and whatnot. The ending was a little flat, left something to be desired, but it was nice seeing Bret and Natty both apply simultaneous sharpshooters on Rick and Charlotte before they left. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on this match. Mike, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts on this match?
I agree. Again, like you said, a great women's match. It's definitely keeping this new era for women's wrestling looking strong. Mm-hmm. But unless they go somewhere with this whole screw job thing,
right?
I don't know. I find it a little bit pointless. Did they only do that because Bret Hart was there? I'm just not sure. I'm not going to completely down it completely yet, but it's just they need to go somewhere with this rather than just doing that because Bret Hart's there.
Exactly. There needs to be a plan moving forward with it. Could not agree more. Nathan, what were your thoughts on this match and the ending and whatnot?
I thought it was another solid match. We always know every time Charlotte and Natalya get in that ring, it's going to be a pretty decent match. Mm-hmm. But I hated the finish.
Yeah.
I thought the finish was garbage, and this is where the booking for me kind of goes down a little bit. This is one of the issues I have with it. Pick a side. Let Natty win or let Charlotte win. The stupid Screwjob finish makes no sense. And it's overdone. They've done this about what? They've replayed the Screwjob finish about 2 or 3 times now.
Exactly. We've seen it.
So,
it loses its luster. I mean, the first time, okay, which I believe the first time they did it was, obviously after Montreal was the Mankind Rock finish at
Survivor Series 1998.
So that meant something, It was like, whoa, what is this? But now it's like, how many years after the fact? Come on.
We got to follow all of it somehow.
Yeah. So, good match, but finish left something to be desired unless they, like Mike said, they follow up with it. They do something at Extreme Rules and maybe give Natalya the belt. I doubt it, but it would be nice.
Yeah, and it'd be one thing if they did this finish at like a Survivor Series, but this makes no sense. It's Payback. It's not Survivor Series. There was no need to do this. And honestly, I mean, yes, Charlotte and Natalya feud has been pretty good, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of ready for something new,
Like
but maybe
Sasha
that's just
Banks.
me. Yes, the best women's wrestler on this planet. Daniel knows this because I am a huge Sasha Banks mark, so don't even get me started with that.
Oh, no, I think they do have, as you've seen on the internet, big plans for Sasha Banks. And
oh, dude, they do. I know that. They're just trying to give Natalya one last big thing, which I'm totally cool with.
She does deserve it. She
does. After all these years of her being in squandering gimmicks and storylines, it's finally good to see them give her respect. I just didn't like this finish. The match was just a basic match they've had, but I'm not going to harp on it too long, I'm happy for Natalya. Hopefully she can get something good out of this feud.
And it's, you just look at it, all together. It's nice that this, again, was for the Women's Championship, and they gave these women enough time. I'm glad to see this occurring on the main roster. It's not a 5-second, shit fest of a match that we used to see with the divas. Now they're called women's wrestler. It's just great to see something like this occur on a WWE pay-per-view. So props to WWE for, allowing the women to go out there and tell a story in the ring. Okay.
Definitely.
Yes. So yeah. Any other thoughts?
No, that's it.
Nope.
Okay. Me. We're going to get into this next segment because this was definitely interesting. Vince McMahon came to the ring, and before he even began to talk, he got CM Punk chants, and I just started laughing.
But I will give Vince McMahon one thing. The guy, he may be out of touch. He's 70 years old. He knows how to work a crowd better than anybody I've ever seen in this business. I love how he does the little singing along thing. He makes them sing along with him. And he is so good that he gasses out the crowd. He will let you sit there and chant. He would have let them sit there and chant that for 3 hours until they quit. I mean, Vince McMahon it legitimately is maybe one of the best promo guys we have ever seen at working the crowd.
No doubt.
I mean, that guy has still got it.
So yeah, basically Vince talks about Raw, says how it always evolves and blah blah blah. He says we need a new era and we're gonna pick either Shane or Stephanie. He's gonna pick either Shane or Stephanie. Stephanie comes out, she does her typical shit. She mugs for the camera. She goes on.
The crowd was awesome during her promo. They were just trashing her.
I agree. It was boring. I'm sorry. You've seen it. You've seen one Authority promo. We've seen enough of the Authority promos. We've
seen 2 full years worth of boring 20-minute Authority promos.
So if you've seen those, you pretty much seen them all. I'm not going to recap what she said. Shane came out, and I liked what he had to say. Pretty much, wow, look at all these headlines. The show has magically been better since I've been in charge. The fans want me to be in charge. Yes, 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 the crowd goes.
I was shocked when they showed the Bleacher Report. Did you notice where it said on-screen leader? They basically, I don't know, like a lot of people may not get that, but that's kind of like saying it's scripted, like on the line. I was surprised that they showed that one.
Well, they've been known to do that, especially...
Right,
yeah, they've been bringing a lot of realism to this story, which makes it a little bit better.
I do like that.
When Shane returned, he's talking about the injuries, how the stock market dropped. I mean, he's bringing up real facts that are actually happening, which
the ratings.
makes him so much more I was laughing so hard when he returned and he mentioned the ratings. I was like, yeah,
it's true.
When you're under 3 million for the first time since I don't know how long, yeah, that's pretty bad. You can tell you need to go in a new direction.
I don't know about you
Right.
guys, but the one thing that bothers me about when they bring this stuff up is they know that their ratings are going down, and they still don't care. They have the nerve to bring all this shit up. They probably know if the product's stale and they're not putting out the best product they can, but they
Daniel.
to do it. Come on.
Yes, Daniel.
Right.
I don't want to get way off subject, but I do want to touch on what you said. You know why they don't care?
They're making money, anyways.
Yep. And
That's
the
all
WWE Network is the second biggest making money thing on the internet. I know I terribly botched that, but they are making more money than they ever have before.
Right.
So you know what? The ratings are not doing good. Let's make a phony excuse of why it's not. We're still going to make money because they're still going to keep watching. That's the same attitude that got them where we are right now, and that's the same attitude that they've had for 6 years.
Right.
Yeah. But just a minor rant right there. But the whole point of this segment, which I thought went on way too long, Vince said, drum roll, it was like, da-da-da-da, what's Vince going to say? He ends up saying that both Stephanie and Shane are going to be in control of Raw. I'm like, that's interesting. I felt like it took too long to get to this point, and the segment did it really need to happen on the pay-per-view? Maybe not, but
I think it should have happened on the pay-per-view because it's a huge announcement.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But
Right,
they, like what I was talking about when we were getting to the pre-show, they could have cut this a few minutes, and again, you'd have time for Kalisto and Ryback. I'm not gonna go way back into that, but they could have cut it down a few minutes, and it'd have been a lot better to watch than it was.
Mike, your thoughts on the announcement?
Yeah, I mean, the fact of them both running Raw was definitely not something I was expecting. The thing I was expecting was maybe they would go back to the brand split. I was not getting my hopes up on that, but I still think this is going to work great. But yeah, because I was thinking put Stephanie in charge of Raw, Shane in charge of SmackDown, have him down low, and have him work his way to eventually be in charge of both, which would be a match between him and Triple H eventually. But this is that could all still happen. I feel with this, I mean, they showed at the end of the show, which I won't get to that yet. What happened there, we all know. But at the same time, there's still competition, and I'm sure there's going to be matches on the card. It's going to be kind of bragging rights, for Stephanie's, what Stephanie wants, and for what Shane wants as well. And you'll see them through the matches probably, and I think that can still lead up to a future match maybe between Shane McMahon and Triple H.
Sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
I was pretty surprised with the direction that they did with this. Am I the only one that heard that Seth Rollins was backstage during this show?
I heard
Really
reports about that, so maybe we see a return tomorrow. We'll have to see.
Because I thought maybe Vince would be like, okay, we're finally going to do one more match, and then he's going to decide it. And Seth Rollins is going to represent Shane McMahon to get his revenge against Authority, and maybe Triple H represents Stephanie, and we get to a SummerSlam match.
Oh, I'd be down for that.
I'd like that. That'd be great.
Or I was thinking a brand split, which I don't know about y'all. I love the idea of a brand split returning. You look at our roster, it has so much talent. Guys like Damian Sandow, guys like Apollo Crews, guys like Dolph Ziggler, guys like Baron Corbin can quickly get lost in the shuffle if it's just one main show.
The only issue, and I keep repeating, I sound like a parrot, but I'm going to keep saying it. In order to make a brand split work, you'd have to make Raw 2 hours again. It has to happen.
Yeah,
there's no other way. It can't work. You can't have a 3-hour Raw and a 2-hour Smack. It just not going to happen.
It makes Raw look over SmackDown. Which if you did a brand split, they have to be equal. I would put John Cena on SmackDown to make it feel even bigger. I'd put John Cena on SmackDown. No more Raw for him. He needs to go back where he started. And then put guys like Cesaro on Raw. Guys like maybe Roman Reigns on Raw. And then you equal it out. Put Seth Rollins on SmackDown. Put AJ Styles on Raw. Put another big star on SmackDown. Make sure the rosters are even out.
Definitely. It could work, but knowing them, like they've messed it up in the past, I don't really have faith in them to execute a brand split. effective.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Daniel. And clearly, what they did tonight, they're not looking to go in that direction, which I'm not terribly sad about. Just I'm a little bit worried that a lot of these guys are going to get lost in the shuffle.
Right, definitely a worry, definitely a concern. But guys, any more thoughts on this big announcement?
Nope. I'm good.
All right, so we'll wait and see what happens tomorrow night on Raw with that. Finally, we had our main event of the evening. It was the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns. I thought it was a really good match from start to finish. The only issues that I had with this match was when there was a count-out where Styles wasn't able to, or Reigns wasn't able to make it into the ring for the count-out, and then there was a second, with the bell ringing, where Styles was hit inadvertently by Reigns below the belt, which led to the ref ringing the bell. Both Stephanie and Shane came back out to restart the matches, respectively. Shane, I believe, made it no count-out. And then Stephanie said it would be a no DQ match. I thought after that, if it wasn't for those two things aside, I thought this was a really good match from start to finish, minus those breaks. You had the Usos come out, Anderson and Gallows get involved, Styles jumping off the top rope. You had Superman punches, calf crushers, Reigns and AJ going into the crowd. There was a lot of good stuff in this match from start to finish. Nathan, let's start with you. What were your thoughts on the overall match?
Okay, I thought the match was amazing. For me, in ring, I know you said Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was match of the night, and it was an awesome match. I think for in-ring work, this was the best match for me. I personally enjoyed it more, but I have a problem with this. And it's not even the count-out or the no DQ stuff. I didn't really have a problem with that. It kind of solidified that Shane and Stephanie might be able to work together. So that wasn't even my problem. I thought that was okay. My problem comes when you hit 4 phenomenal forearms, one on a table, and Roman just kicks out, and then one spear takes down AJ. That's, to me, ridiculous. I just feel like we're going into Super Cena, except now it's Super Roman. 4 phenomenal forearms, 1 spear. I felt that was ridiculous. And the whole thing that I was looking forward to is, what's the cliffhanger they're going to leave on this pay-per-view to make us look forward to Raw? Right. Why couldn't Finn Balor cause AJ? Why couldn't AJ join the Balor Club and get the championship? That would have been a good cliffhanger. Heck, I don't care. I wouldn't be so happy with this. Why can't Roman just side with Balor Club? That'd be better than what you did. You need a good cliffhanger to go into Raw. That's why the ratings are so low. There's no reason to keep watching the show. Mm-hmm. They don't give us a reason to want to see the next episode. Like the Attitude Era. I know me and Daniel have been talking about that a lot here lately. Every episode made you want to see the next week to see more. Because there's another episode. Is Stone Cold going to get his revenge? What's going to happen? No, with this, it's just Roman beat AJ. We'll see you next week. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. I mean, there's the stuff with Shane and Stephanie, but I wanted, that Balor debut. I wanted a Reigns heel turn. I mean, we could still get that at Extreme Rules, but it's like, what about tonight?
I feel like they missed out on a cap. I feel like they missed out on it. Because, I don't know about you. To me, this is the most interested I've been in a main event in maybe years. I was so invested in this. And it's kind of like, I don't know, I'm going to use this reference. It's kind of like the Nexus. They had an opportunity to make it a huge thing, and they waited to do it. So even if they did do it at Extreme Rules, it's not going to mean as much as they would have done it tonight. Yeah. So, I don't know, guys. I am looking forward to Extreme Rules match. And I think I know why Finn Balor did not debut tonight.
What's your, what do you think?
Because they're going to continue his feud with Samoa Joe.
Oh, yeah.
The dynamic would kind of be weird with Balor being a heel and Joe being a heel. If you turn Joe face, it could work, but that's not the direction that NXT wants to go in. So I could see where there could be problems with that.
Right.
Right.
That's a good point. I didn't think of that. What was I? It was something. But yeah, I am looking forward to the Extreme Rules match between Styles and Reigns. It was announced before the show went off the air, so that's something to look forward to. But you're right. I mean, they should have probably pulled a heel turn or had Anderson and Gallows align with Reigns tonight and they didn't do that. So I felt like it was a missed opportunity to what was a really good match, don't get me wrong, but the ending left something to be desired.
Yeah, definitely. I know I probably ran the board along too long. Mike can get his point now.
Yeah, Mike, what are your thoughts on this match and the ending?
I mean, yeah, I agree. I think the thing I was looking forward to this match. I mean, don't be wrong, great match. Again, why couldn't they have at least done a great match of that at Mania? But we don't have to go back there. But
Right.
but yeah, I mean, I think the thing I was expecting to get out of this main event was there had to have been a heel turn to complete this main event, and I was expecting like an answer to be revealed, like what's really going on behind Anderson and Gallows, and it didn't go there, which I was a little disappointed with that. And I feel like that they turned this into establishing the new leadership. I mean maybe a little bit of a cliffhanger, thinking are Stephanie and Shane really good get along? I mean a little good there, but I do feel that it was kind of missing something. Like the whole point of this, you had this, especially with the story also between Styles and Reigns as well. What was going on with with Anderson and Gallows. I think that would have been that was more necessary to fill in for this match rather than developing the effectiveness of Stephanie and Shane running a show together.
It was like, did we really need that? Took away from the match, I felt a little bit. It did hurt the match, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But that aside, guys, we're going to give our overall grades for this show. I've been thinking about it. I'll go last. Nathan, what letter grade would you give this show?
This is kind of hard for me because I enjoyed pretty much every match on this card. I had a few disagreements with the booking of this show, so I'm kind of stuck. But okay, the hard work and some solid booking of other stuff, I'm gonna give this show a C+.
Okay.
I think if you watch it, you're gonna enjoy it. But I feel like there was a few plot holes that we got into kind of in our review that I kind of disagree with, so I can't give it any more but a C+.
Okay, we got a C+. Mike, what's your grade for Payback 2016?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There were definitely a couple, things that were like, what? Like, Ziggler being Corbin or the screw job thing, and, the ending. But, I mean, well, maybe at least the ending. I mean, it could have been better, but I still thought it was okay. But overall, I think, this just, washed out, the bad taste out of my mouth I had for most of WrestleMania season. I'm actually going to give it a B+, I think. Very effective,
Nice.
A B+. Yeah, I think it was, the matches were great. I could at least ask for good matches. And, there was some interesting parts, and I think it was definitely a show that didn't bore me too much. So I'm going to go with a B+.
Plus, okay. After long deliberation, I'm also going to give this show a B+. Like you said, definitely one of WWE's better pay-per-views this year. And yeah, I think we pretty much said what we had to say about this show. Guys, check out Payback on the WWE Network if you get the chance to. It was an enjoyable show. So with that, guys, thank you all for watching this review for Payback. Mike and Nathan, if you guys want to get plugs in for your channels, you're most welcome to do so.
Go ahead,
not much for me. Just I have a YouTube channel, Classic Wrestling Commentaries. I'd like to see more people on that. Besides that, just the normal. I want to thank Daniel for letting me join him in this review. It was awesome.
Sure thing.
Yep. And as for me, my channel is DaClubOfDaMan1993. I just do whatever I want to do, just upload stuff, and definitely enjoy doing these reviews as well. I think this is definitely one of my favorite ones to do, honestly, because it was natural, really good show, and there was a lot to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. So, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, guys, take care, stay safe, peace.
Peace.